Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I thought I would film a video on what's in my rehab boxes. I know I showed really briefly in my houseplant tour, so I thought I would do a separate video for this, just showing like what I have in here and kind of why they're in here. So these rehab boxes are not exactly pretty, but they're really practical. The reason why I use these boxes is they basically work as a terrarium where I can control the environment that the plant is in much more and make sure that they are humid and warm. So that's a lot easier to control when it's in a plastic box than, for example, if it's out on my table. What's good about the rehab boxes is that the water recycles itself, so I don't have to constantly water the plants and check on them. It's a really good space for baby plants and also plants that are struggling. So this small box here is mainly my baby plants, and then down here I have my struggling plants. And the reason why they are in this bigger box is, well, one, they are bigger plants, and also because I have underfloor heating, so I know that the box is extra warm to help the plants recover. So I've had to refilm this intro because everything that went wrong when filming did go wrong, and I don't know how, but I think I just deleted my intro video. So yeah, I'm refilming this, and now you can watch my original video with much greasier hair. Okay, I've moved the camera up a bit, so I'm hoping you can actually see properly. Right, let's start with the one I'm actually proud of. So this is my Alocasia pink dragon, and I got her a year ago now, and you would think that she would grow a little more than she has, but she was my first Alocasia, so that was definitely a learning curve, put it that way. But I actually grew this one from a bulb from the original pink dragon that I got, and she has been in this box pretty much since the bulb. I think I'm going to do another video on that anyway, or I might have uploaded that first. So yeah, I'll be talking about this in another video anyway, just kind of explaining about Alocasias and their bulbs. What I really love about the Alocasia pink dragon is that in the maturer plant, which I have been really tempted to get just because I'm like, oh, I really want a mature plant, but I've been holding off. But basically, what I really love about the pink dragon is that the stems are pink, like really beautiful, my kind of pastel pink. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. This is kind of getting pink now. This is the newest stem, so I'm just waiting for a new growth point, and I'm hoping that it will bring me a new leaf soon. But this is actually the original Alocasia pink dragon in its own terrarium, in a terrarium. I don't know if you can see, but basically I've got it on some pebbles, and underneath I actually have some water. And then I've just kind of put some holes in the side of this bottle and turned it into its own little terrarium to increase the humidity for this one, because it was not doing anything for so long that I just felt like I needed to increase the humidity to try and encourage it to grow more. And here we are. It's finally pushing out a new leaf, and it's literally almost out, so I'm ready for it to unfurl, come out, give me more shoots. The corm on this is actually a lot bigger as well because it is an older bulb. Corm, it's called corm. So I am hoping that it will grow faster than the baby Alocasia bulb that I have rooted. So yeah, I mean, I love them. I think I'll probably plant them all together just so that I have like one big plant. But yeah, I love an Alocasia pink dragon. I just kind of need to learn how to look after them a little bit more so that I will not kill them. And then this is still in water. So I have shown you my silver sword very briefly in my video, how to make more plants. So I've got two cuttings in here. This is the top cutting of my silver sword. I love the silver sword. Like, I've made so many cuttings out of it, and I kind of low-key regret it just because it was growing so nicely that I think I keep stunting its growth, as you can tell. So this was obviously its oldest leaf that it had, and I cut yeah, this was the oldest leaf that it had, and then I made the cut, which then came up with this one, and then also this, and lastly this leaf. And you can tell that they're getting smaller just because when you make a cutting, leaves tend to spend most of their energy on making the plant recover from being cut, and obviously grow roots as well, so it's not focused on making large leaves. So I have taken the hit, and I have done that a couple of times, which I need to stop doing because the leaves are growing small. But I love this plant because I love the bluiness on this. Like, I'll have to show you a close-up because the blue on this is just amazing. Okay, so that's my top cutting, and then this is my main cutting from before I did the big chop. I'm literally just propagating it in water because it is the easiest. The reason why I have chopped this top cutting from this, actually, it was a very impulsive decision, but basically I've noticed that there is some kind of variegation or like something, like there's something going on with this leaf. It's like variegated, and I have seen it on Instagram once. I haven't done that much research in it. I never thought that you could get a variegated silver sword. As far as I'm aware, it's not really a thing, but I remember someone posting it about the possibility, or like that it's uncommon, or just that someone on the off chance has this. There's a slight stripe in the stem as well, which is incredibly interesting. So that's why I made the cutting here, because I wanted to try and push for more variegation in this cutting. I don't know if I can, I don't know if it will again. Maybe it was just part of this leaf, and I'm not going to see this kind of variegation again if it is variegation. I hope it's not a disease. So yeah, I'm kind of just waiting to see. It's a little experiment, and if anyone knows anything about this, I would be really, really intrigued. Okay, I've got two small pots that I've made up here. So first of all, this is a small pot of Philodendron micans. These are quite juvenile cuttings, and I had loads of Phytonias, and it just became really leggy, so I cut the top off and turned them into cuttings. I've just kind of put them here for now. So yeah, and I'll probably pop them back in my Phytonia pot that I have, or I'm thinking of using it for a terrarium. Undecided, many options, we'll see. Okay, and then two left in my baby Rehab box. So this is a pot of Philodendron pink princess cuttings that have pretty much reverted. So I made the chop, and I have two in here. One which rotted and actually has no roots now, but she's still growing new shoots. So I had her in water for a while, but I decided to put her in my box just because I didn't want her to rot again, and there's less chance of it rotting if it's in sphagnum moss. And then in here, this is actually a much more well-developed pink princess. So there are a good amount of roots, which is really good. And we have a new shoot that actually looks really pink. Oh my god, that actually might be really pink. I have no idea, but I really hope it is. So this is my first avocado seed that I have rooted, and it had loads of leaves and it was really tall. But I decided to cut it so that it will hopefully bring out new shoots. I have a few more avocados as well that I've rooted. I just kind of have some really interesting ideas that I want to do with avocados, but this was my first go anyway after like 10,000 fails. So yeah. Okay, box one done. Let's go to the big boy stuff. And it is so warm. I'm literally just sticking my hand in here and it is so warm. Again, just because it is on the heated flooring, which is pretty much on all day. It does get aired out pretty much once a day, just because I can't help myself but open the lid and stare at them. Okay, I'm going to show you this one first because I'm so happy about this. Like, I'm actually really proud of myself for this. So, do you remember in my first ever video, if you haven't seen it, it's my first video, which is a houseplant tour, and I showed you my Calathea washiwisii, and it was just this leaf, really struggled, it was so big and bushy, so beautiful, I could not believe. It just really struggled and I don't really know why, but I'm paying a lot more attention to it now, especially now that it's in the rehab box, that it's in a more controlled environment, that hopefully I won't have it die all the way back down to one leaf ever again. So we had one leaf previously and now we have actually 1, 2, 3, 4 new growth. 3 new growth points, 1 new leaf from this leaf. Okay, I'll show you. So this one is just about finished unfurling finally, and it came out of the original leaf that we had left. I'll show you some pictures, but basically it was just kind of like, it was kind of doing like a philodendron situation where it was like stuck inside the stem, like, you know, when it looks like a worm, like it looks like this. It looks like this. So I helped her out because I can't help but, you know, just touch my plants all the time. But it's okay, she's unfurled and she's happy. So I don't think there's anything wrong. And for a first leaf, I honestly can't complain. So these are new growth points. So these will be separate divisions. This will be one and it will grow their own leaves. There is a new growth point here, just here. There's a new growth point there, and then there is a baby one just here. It's weird because the plant looks so small for such a big pot, but actually the root ball itself was so big that I didn't want to touch it enough to cause so much stress on the root ball, especially because it lost so many leaves all at once. It has definitely downsized in pot, but it is still quite a big pot. Once she develops into her full grown self, the pot will no longer look so big for such a small plant. Okay, so I've shown you this one before in, again, my How to Make More Plants video, from showing you how to do air layering. And it's still going. Since it is in the rehab box anyway, like so many roots are growing everywhere, it's kind of going crazy. I think I'm going to chop this big one off soon. It's had its newest leaf just come out and it's slowly hardening off. This is my first pink princess plant, the mother plant of pretty much all my pink princesses, and it's not been great. And yeah, it's not really been amazing. It was pretty reverted when I got it really big. So it's been a work in progress where I've constantly chopped it back to see if it will induce more colour and variegation. Don't hate her, don't love her. So my camera decided to stop filming and I have to record the last half again. Okay, so we got up to the pink princess. So yeah, I definitely want to get my hands on another pink princess with more variegation, just because the pink princess is literally me in plant form. So, not that you can tell by what I'm wearing right now. Oh, by the way, I'm wearing Cassiette. If you haven't heard her music, check her out. She's really cool. But yeah, so yeah, not that you can tell right now, but the pink princess is very much me in plant form. I want to be able to find one that has amazing variegation. Okay, so I wish I started making YouTube videos literally 2 or 3 months before I decided to, just because this is my Alocasia Black Velvet and it was thriving. I had about 4 leaves on this and they were just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. This was the biggest leaf that I got. And the leaf indentation is just insane. It's literally like 3D. And it was just thriving so well in the summer and it was growing so quickly and so easily. Like literally there was nothing that needed to go, there was nothing that I needed to specifically do for it. And I know with Alocasias, just like Calatheas, they can be quite fussy. But yeah, no, this one was really easy. up until winter came along and me, the overwaterer, gave her root rot. I repotted her and she is growing her roots back. But the great news is when I did repot her, I had found loads of bulbs that she had grown for me, and I think I had like 3 or 4 bulbs, which is incredible. So yeah, I have them rooting right now, and I think they are ready to pot up soon too, so that's really good. Also, I've noticed that there's a massive craze for Alocasia black velvets. I don't know where that came from. I think I must have just missed that hype purely because I had one anyway. But I've noticed that people are buying these for like crazy money right now, which is insane to me. But it is an amazing plant. Okay, the last 2 are Calatheas. So I'll just bring them out. This is a Calathea ornata and she struggled so much. I had a lot of Calatheas as my first plants and they all got spider mites at the same time. Again, with this one, I cut down all of her leaves and just had her as a 1-leaf plant until she's very slowly grew back again. I've just put her back in the rehab box because she's just not happy, but then I'm kind of thinking maybe the rehab box is too wet for her because her leaves are still a little bit translucent. Okay, so do you remember when I divided up my Calathea White Fusion? This is one of the divisions, if you were wondering how the recovery was going. And these were the biggest leaves that they had, so I think it was one of the newest divisions that the Calathea had. I don't know if you can see in the shot, but I have one here. I have one of the other divisions here, just in a cute little ceramic jug. Just move that out of the way. So yeah, she's doing good too. She's one of the bigger ones. So yeah, she's just happy right by my humidifier. So this one, yeah, so this one was one of the biggest leaves that it had, so I think it was one of the newest divisions that she grew. But when I cut her, she didn't have many roots, so I just kind of thought, well, for being such a big leaf plant, it's probably not gonna cope very well, so I put her straight into the rehab box to make sure that she will survive. And she's been really good, and when I first I don't think I showed the clip, but when I first cut her off, she was the first division that I made. I actually snapped the new growth. I mean, it wasn't much anyway, it was really small, but I snapped the tip of it. But no trouble no more because we have a new leaf coming, so I'm not worried at all. And the root system is a lot better now. It was like, I think it was like here before, so it was, yeah, I think it was about here before, so it was definitely really small. Okay, last fucking attempt. There's loads of little offshoots that I can see, so I'm definitely not worried because the roots are growing stronger, bigger and longer. Actually, the only thing I do need to worry about is the fact that it is too wet in here because I do not want the plants overwatered. So I just make sure that I air it once a day, which I do anyway because I always open the lid to check and watch the plants. So, okay, that is my last one. I do always think about buying more of these just because I'm like, oh, they just look after the plants so well and they grow so much faster and healthier and it's safer. But it is a horrible sight, let's be honest. It's not a good look. So yes, thank you for watching my YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or even suggestions, please do write them in the comments below. Oh, and don't forget to like and subscribe, obviously.